let me tell you, they showed a picture.
They showed the X-ray. Well, Francis, we could show it to people. No, we can't on this. That's right.
No, we can't. Man tries to smuggle Thermos into jail inside his rectum.
Could you say that again?
Man tries to smuggle Thermos into jail inside his rectum.
I have a question. Point of order. A question.
Yes, please.
I need to know what kind of thermos. Is this a thermos for soup, a thermos for water, or a thermos for hot coffee? I need to know.
It was a hot coffee, kind of tall bullet.
Okay, it's a bullet. It's not the kind with the handle.
No, it didn't have a handle.
Okay, that's
because my first thought was the thermos I had in grammar school that you had in the lunchbox.
That's the soup. Remember I remember they put soup in it, or chili, or sometimes my mom would give me raviolis because I love Sephardi raviolis, like at that in my little mug. And they always had some awful plaid pattern on the outside.
That was I loved it.
I'm sure you did. You're very preppy.
Mine was red and plaid.
Yes, mine was too, and I didn't like that.
Loved it.
But that's to me, that is next level. If you're like, and next level doesn't even seem like enough. Like that is super, Uber level vestibule abuse. Like I don't. But even the bullet con, I don't say the bullet con is not another level of commitment.
Thank you.
I'm not saying that, but that's what, okay. So this is what I don't understand. So Winter Haven, Florida, that's tracking. Mm-hmm. A Florida man is facing multiple charges after deputies discovered he attempted to smuggle a thermos into the Polk County jail by concealing it in his rectum, as you said. Walter Freimar, 51, was arrested after a series of bizarre events that began with a call about a naked man at a public park restroom. Now, I don't want to blow the story or the ending, but I suspect this person is having a day.
A day. I mean, a full day.
This sounds like a bad way for our day to start. Naked in a public park restroom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you something. It can only go downhill from here. That's
exactly. So when the deputies arrived, Freimar was fully clothed and was let go with a warning. So they showed up.
And he's like, look, I got right.
Yeah. And he got his clothes back on. Mm-hmm. And then the Polk County Sheriff,
Grady Judd. Sheriff Grady, that is, you had to become the Polk County Sheriff.
Sheriff Grady Judd. Sheriff Judd said, we're nice. We told him we're going to give you a break. But Freimar reportedly ignored the break.
He didn't take the break. He was like, I am stupid. Sheriff Grady, Grady Judd, I am very stupid. And as you know, we don't take a day off.
Right. So what did he do?
Hold my beer.
He crossed the street and trespassed on nearby railroad tracks, which
this is where I object to. This is very, yes, it's wrong, but
come on.
You're following him because here's what I'm taking away from this. You're not nice. In fact, you got there, his clothes were on, so you were a little angry probably that now you don't have the ability to do anything about it. So you waited to see if he would do something that you could do something about. And he did. He walked across some railroad tracks that everybody walks across, I bet. Now that's a whole other issue with us.
Yes.
But that we can't get into now. But that's what I think happened. So now we're going to get him for this.
Yep, I think so too. So once in jail, the deputies arrested him and found meth in his possession. Which we're not
I'd like to know where on him in his possession was the meth.
Exactly.
Because if it was just in his pocket, like a real, but this is my thing. We had to get raunchy to find the thermos. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, wait, here it comes. Once in jail, Freimar was subjected to a routine body scan. Standard procedure, everybody. Yeah, you gotta squat and cough.
Yeah, but that's not is that what they are calling a body scan is something electronic, right?
Yeah, well, I'm sure that now you don't squat and cough anymore, but you know what I mean? But now
Polk County, I'm going to tell you something that I believe in my bones. The Polk County Jail is not at the cutting edge of law enforcement technology. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Right. Well, he was subjected to a routine body scan, standard procedure to prevent contraband from entering the facility. And what the deputies saw on the x-ray left them stunned.
I find it hard to believe that they're not constantly finding things in people's vestibules because that's all we talk about.
Angela, we're talking about a bullet size. That's like a foot long, okay?
Yeah, which like this one,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Like my water bottle right now.
Yes.
Yes. This is completely in it. I didn't know your rectum.
Insane.
I didn't even know your rectum could be that long. Is it that long? Or is that going into
Let me tell you something. I am having problems right now understanding the physics of this.
And that he's walking and not
doubled over in pain.
Yeah, let me tell you something. If a breeze goes too close to my vestibule, if anything gets even, it's like my vestibule. Remember, you know that fog, the film that was over the eggs from the Alien when it busts out,
the mist. Yes,
that I have like, and it acted like as an alarm basically for the creatures. You know, that once you broach it, if you go, there's a mist that surrounds my vestibule, and if you come within, if you broach within a foot of it, alarms go off. My vestibule collapses and closes tighter than a black hole in space.
Well, he apparently, Judge Grady, Grady, Judd, Sheriff Judd.
I know the problem is Judge
it's a lot.
Grady,
It's a lot. It's too many.
It's too many. It's just Sheriff Judd, but Sheriff Grady sounds better.
Yeah, Sheriff Grady.
We're just gonna call him Sheriff Grady.
Sheriff Grady. He said he brought a thermos into the jail. That's right. He put it up the exit ramp. You know what I mean?
Yes, we know what you mean.
Yes, Sheriff Grady, we know what you mean. And I am having a problem with it because I don't think that you should be able to stand up straight and walk with that much volume.
Well, what this says to me, this is not the first time Mr. Man has used his vestibule in a completely inappropriate way. Again, my problem is not, it's your vestibule.
Yes, but
you can do whatever you want with your own vestibule, but understand something. It needs to stop before you leave the house. I don't know how much clearer we can be. Butt plug in for the night.
Even if it's a thermos, that's a butt plug.
It's a butt plug. And now it's a problematic butt plug because as we know from Idiot of the Week, you can't get things that, how many people have had these cups, mugs, all sorts of garbage up their vestibules and not able to get them out. And they start sticking, we did one a couple weeks ago where they start sticking more things and start losing those.
Yep. And this is my other part about it is, okay, so we know that potentially, this is what I'm hoping for, is that the insertion happened in the public park restaurant.
I think this is making you sweat.
It's, in the restroom, because he was fully clothed, which means that the thermos was in him when they showed up.
Yeah.
He then walked away.
Walked across the railroad tracks.
To the tracks. This is no.
No, just no.
No.
Some people have trained their area is what I was getting to. Some people have trained their area.
I'm getting Jesus and the loaves from this. Okay.
Do you think that this is God sending a sign?
This is a miracle of man.
Do you think that this is one of the signs of the apocalypse?
What do you think? Thank you. Let me tell you something. People talk about this.
Is this the eighth seal?
People talking about Epstein and eating babies. No.
Thermos in the vestibule.
This vestibule situation.
Well, I mean, I will put it before the church board. See if they want to send somebody to investigate this miracle. Well, but yeah, so they basically he admitted to this makes my arms hurt. Sheriff Grady said that Frymere admitted to inserting the thermos into his body roughly 24 hours earlier.
Oh, Lord. Lord.
Well, now, roughly, which means it could be more.
Roughly. Because, the meth may have been talking.
Oh, let's just say that there's been a lot of behaviors exhibited to suggest he may not know exactly what time it is. Walter's not giving punctual vibes. You know what I'm saying?
So the item was large enough to pose a serious medical risk. Oh, really? You think?
It is like a shell that they would use in World War II.
That's what I'm saying. Prompting deputies to rush Frymere to a hospital. Because I think that once they saw it up in there, they were like, oh, heck, come here. Hell, no. And
we are not touching that. No. First of all, I haven't gotten my flu shot. Second of all, no. We don't get paid enough. I'm just trying to understand. I have a question. Do you think that St. Street Justice, our hospital, this poses an ethical question for me and a mission statement question about St. Street Justice, because we see our mission as helping the health of those who aren't stupid.
Right.
If the police bring the person, would we treat them any different? See, I don't think so either. I just wanted to throw it out there.
I don't care if you put a book cover on it. It's still the same book.
That is, you know what? That's what we'll call that program. We can get a little stamp made so when we can just go on there, an ink stamp to put on their file that says rejected because just because it's got a different jacket doesn't mean it's not the same story.
Exactly. They had to find a specialist.
Specialist. Does that mean somebody who makes thermoses? Like, what's that one that Stanley? Did they have
Stanley, right?
Stanley?
They're called Stanley up in there. Sheriff Grady said it was quite the ordeal, but he is thermosless in the county jail today. Frymere,
that kind of goes wah, wah. You know what I mean? Like, it's sort of a Pyrrhic victory. I don't know.
Frymere, who had 25 prior arrests and has served 5 stints in state prison, also allegedly threatened to kill the deputy who arrested him.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Walter he's flipped the script. He's now in I need to be watched territory. Mm-hmm. Probably wouldn't be better in a prison, but he's kind of made it hard to not put him in prison with all these arrests.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Sheriff Grady said the deputy saved his life, and after that, Walter threatened to kill him.
No, and that was after Walter threatened to kill him.
And after that was after.
That was after, yes.
And that was after, thank you. Walter threatened to kill him. Yeah, well, you know what?
I suspect that the methamphetamine has something to do with all of this.
Me too.
It smells very messy.
It smells like meth. It smells like meth.
At least 24 hours. About. You wanted to believe he went into that public park bathroom and did it then. That's what you wanted to believe. And that was upsetting. Your mind hadn't even opened up into the possible world in which it's been a day or two. And actually, it has nothing to do with his current criminal situation. It's just sort of an additional situation. They don't tell you, and this is bad reportage, they don't tell you what was in the thermos, if anything.
No.
And I need that information.
Is that where he keeps his coffee? That's what I need to know.
Part of me, if it was coffee, if it wasn't any other contraband, I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna take some years off this sentence for style points.
Because you know what? That is your pouch. You can use it how you want it.
That's my kombucha that I brew myself at home.
There was a time in this country where we applauded people who didn't walk into Starbucks and spend $8 on a grande latte, and they made their own coffee, chai, destroy
we
silence.
mocked it. We mocked it.
We mocked it. This man, Walter Freimeier, is carrying his coffee around like a good American.
And keeping it warm. And I mean, because it's got to be the correct temperature. You know what? People are artisans.
Yes, Angela. We used to appreciate that. We used to appreciate that in
We
this
used
country.
to appreciate that.
I'm Frances Callier.
And I'm Angela V. Shelton.
We are Frangela. Thank you so much for listening to
Idiot of the Week.
Week.